Good morning, students. We had completed simple equations, simple algebraic equations, and now we are doing lines and angles. This chapter, lines and angles, which is there in your, it's a revision of 6th class, and it's also there in class 7th. Right? So we are doing a revision of it. We start with, you've already studied in the previous classes about point, line, line segment, plane, etc. I'll just do a revision of it. Point. A point is represented by a simple dot like P or Q or R, etc. These are representation of points. So a point in geometry means a dot, a representation by a dot, giving it an alphabet P, Q, R, etc. It has no size, no length, breadth, etc. Then we come to next is line segment. The point, when we come to line segment. A line segment, they said out here, is a part of a line. It has two endpoints. It has a definite length. For example, if we draw this line segment, starting point and ending point. This is a line segment. It has two starting point and an end point. It has a definite measurement. This is called line AB. Suppose we draw this line AB of say 5.6 centimeter. So this becomes 5.6 centimeter, and we represent it as line segment AB. This represents line segment AB. Next, we have studied also about line. We have studied about line. In line, we have studied out there that a line extends indefinitely in both directions. A line is mentioned out there. It has no definite length. It extends indefinitely in both directions. This is the line. This arrow represents that it is extending indefinitely in both the directions. It can be represented as L, or we can represent L line. This is line L. We can also, if you want to mark it, you can mark the points P and Q and call this as line PQ. This indicates line. So line L, we can call it as line L also, or line M, etc. And we have 2 points on it and it is extending indefinitely, we can call it as line PQ. And this arrow on both sides indicate it is extending indefinitely in both the directions. Right? So this is about point, line segment, line. Now we come to next is in parallel lines and intersecting lines. Parallel lines and intersecting lines. Two lines in a plane, or two or more lines in the plane which do not meet are called parallel lines. The distance between them is the same throughout. So if we are given two lines there, one line, line L, and another line M, these are called parallel lines. The distance between them is the same, and they do not seem to intersect anywhere because they are moving in a fixed path. The arrow shows that they are continuing on either side. So these are parallel lines. Parallel lines are lines, two lines in a plane which do not intersect. The distance between them is the same throughout. Intersecting lines, two lines which meet at a fixed point are called intersecting lines. If we have one line L and another line M, they intersect at a particular point, we can name that point as O. These are called intersecting lines. So the basic geometrical concepts which are there, the basic geometrical concept, point, line, line segment, parallel lines, intersecting lines, plane. Plane is a flat surface which extends indefinitely in all directions. This is a plane surface. It extends indefinitely in all directions. Right? So this is what we have studied, the basic geometrical concepts. Now we come to the next part of it now. After, and last one, what is left? One second. Also, what is left is a ray. We have studied in the previous class also ray. What is a ray? A ray, they said out here, is given out there, the ray. A part of the line, a part of that line which extends indefinitely in one particular direction is called a ray. Ray. A part of the line which extends indefinitely in one direction. If we have a line, starting point, say O, and this line is extending indefinitely. This is a ray. We call it as ray OP. You can name it OP. So it is written like this way, ray OP. So ray is a line which extends indefinitely in one direction. It has a starting point but no ending point. The ray can also go other side, from here this way, here this way. It can also go from ray OX, ray OM, etc. Different position it has. So I hope it's clear to you what is ray. After we have discussed the basic geometrical concepts, now we come to angle. An angle is formed when two rays intersect at a particular point. If we have one ray and another ray here, call this the O, OA and OB. These are two rays. They have a fixed point. They have a fixed initial point. Starting point is fixed. So this, where the two rays meet, that point is called the vertex. O is called the vertex. These are called the arms. OA and OB are called the arms of the angle. This shows the angle, whatever the measurement is. We mark it this way to show the angle. We are discussing now about the angle O, because where the two rays meet, that point is called the vertex, and we are talking about angle O. This can be named as angle O. We can also call it angle AOB. We can also call it angle BOA. Either way we can say angle O. We can call it angle AOB. We can also say angle BOA. Remember the alphabet where the angle is formed, that will come in the center. When we are discussing about a particular angle, that alphabet will come in the center. This is what you should understand. Now understand, if we have two rays, three rays, say we have here from an initial point, we have three rays, OA, OB and OC. Now in this case, we cannot, if we are discussing about angle AOB, we cannot mention it as angle O, because angle O includes the whole thing from here to here. This is angle O. So when we are talking of angle O, it means angle AOC. It is angle AOC. If we are only speaking about this angle, this particular angle, then we name it as angle AOB. If we are speaking about this angle, we call it angle BOC. And if we are speaking of the whole AOC, then what we have marked out here, this angle, then we are talking of angle AOC. So in this case, we cannot call it as angle O, because angle O will mean the whole thing. Only when we are speaking of angle O, that means it means angle AOC. So here in the vertex may be common, but the angles will be mentioned separately. This will be angle AOB, this angle. This will be angle BOC, this angle. And if we are discussing of the big angle, it will be angle AOC, this angle. This is what you have to understand about angles. How to name it and how do we find. And always when we are discussing about a particular angle, then that alphabet will always come in the center. We cannot write angle BAO or ABO. No, it will be totally wrong. We have to mention the AOB. We are talking about this angle AOB. O is in the center. BOC, we are talking of this angle. O is in the center. AOC, we are talking of this angle. O is in the center. So whichever angle we are discussing about, that letter will be, that alphabet will be in the center. Take for example, now we have how do we name this angle? How do we name this angle? We can call it as angle A, because we are talking of this angle. We can also call it angle CAD, or we can also call it angle DAC. Any way you can call it. Angle A, you can say angle CAD or angle DAC, which mean the same thing. So naming the angle is very important. Once you know how to name an angle and discuss about a particular angle, you won't have problems in identifying the angles. Now we come to the next part of it. What are complementary and supplementary angles? Complementary angles. If they said out here, if the sum of the measure of two angles is 90 degree, they are called complementary angles, and each is the complement of the other. If the sum of the measure of two angles is 90 degree, they are called complementary angles. If you have two angles, say one angle is say 40 degree, and we have another angle CAD 50 degree. The sum of both these angles, they form complementary angles. So 40 degree plus 50 degree, the total is 90 degree. If the sum of two angles is 90 degree, they are called complementary angles, and each is complement of the other. For example, suppose I say, what is the complement of 40 degree? The complement of 40 degree will be 90 minus 40, that is 50 degree. What is the complement of 50 degree? The complement of 50 degree will be 40 degree. How do we get it? 90 minus 50. So the definition, understand it? If the sum of two angles is 90 degree, they are called complementary angles, and each angle is the complement of the other. Like they can ask you a question this way also. Give the complement of 42 degree. What is the complement of 42 degree? The complement of, because we are talking about complementary angles, the complement of 42 degree is 90 minus 42, 90 degree minus 42, 42 degree. That's equal to 48 degree. So to find the complement of the other angle, we subtract it from 90 degree. If they ask you the complement of complement of 68 degrees. The complement of 68 degree will be 90 minus 68 degree. That's equal to 22 degree. So I have explained to you what is the definition of complementary angles, how each is the complement of the other, and I have shown you how to find the complement of each angle. Next we come to the next part now. Supplementary angles. Supplementary angles. If the sum of the two angles is 180 degree, they are called supplementary angles, and each is the supplement of the other. If the sum of two angles is 180 degrees, suppose we have an angle here. This is say 120 degree, and we have another angle here. This is 60 degree here. These two angles, the sum of these two angles are supplementary. So 120 degree plus 60 degree is equal to 180 degree. They are called supplementary angles. So the definition of supplementary angles is, if the sum of two angles is 180 degree, they are called supplementary angles, and each is the supplement of the other. Like the supplement of 120 degree is 60 degree. The supplement of 60 degree is 120 degree. Same way we can find now, question same way we can put up. Give the supplement of of 88 degree. Find the supplement of 88 degree. So the supplement of 88 degree will be 180 minus 88, because supplementary we are talking of 180 degree. So 180 minus 88, 92 degree. Is it clear, students? Adding this up, you notice 8 into 10, 9 and 9, 80, 180 degree. So this is how we find the complement, the supplement of the angles. Next, we come to now, after complementary and supplementary angles, we come to adjacent angles. Adjacent angles. What are adjacent angles? They are angles which have a common vertex, a common arm, and their non-common arms are on either side of the common arm. They have a common vertex, a common arm, and the non-common arms are on either side of the common arm. For example, here you are given now here, what are adjacent angles? It has a common vertex. For this angle, and for this angle AOC and BOC, they are adjacent angles. Angle AOC and angle BOC, both these angles are adjacent angles. Adjacent means they are close to each other. Why? Because they have a common vertex. AOC, BOC, the vertex is common. They have a common arm. OC is common. OC is common. And the non-common, those arms which are non-common, they are on either side of the common arm. The non-common arms, they are on either side of the common arm. Then they are called adjacent angles. I hope it's clear. So angle AOC and angle B